Planes and trains are remarkable innovations, pushing the limits of speed and distance. Yet, despite ongoing advancements, failures can still occur. Machines malfunction, errors happen, and the results can be catastrophic. To come up with our list of the 10 most significant plane and train disasters in history, we studied the human, ecological, and financial impacts of numerous global collisions and crashes. We kick off our countdown in the United States, where a train derailment in Ohio takes number 10 in our ranking. The United States has the largest rail network in the world. Almost 140,000 miles of track. On February 1st, 2023, a Norfolk Southern freight train leaves Madison, Illinois for Conway, Pennsylvania, about 622 miles away. The train stretches more than 1.7 miles. Of its freight cars, 141 are fully loaded. Their cargo includes highly toxic chemicals. 2 days later, on February 3rd at 8:55 p.m., just as the train pulls out of the small town of East Palestine, Ohio, it derails and ignites. 38 cars wrench off the track. 11 of them are loaded with hazardous materials. Authorities call for an emergency evacuation for residents within a 5,200-foot radius. Firefighters, struggling through a thick cloud of toxic fumes, battle the blaze for more than 2 days. The flaming wreck was a toxic powder keg. To try to minimize the potential for devastation by preventing another uncontrolled explosion, the authorities had to intentionally burn part of the cargo. Evidence suggests that an overheated running gear system triggered a fire under one of the cars. While thankfully no one died in the derailment, the wreck caused cataclysmic and widespread environmental damage. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources reported that the chemical spill killed more than 43,000 aquatic animals, including fish, crustaceans, and amphibians.
My question to you, very simply, sir, will you lead the industry in doing away with precision scheduled railroading?
Senator, in December.
The Ohio derailment ranks as one of the most serious recent ecocides. It shockingly demonstrated how toxic trains routinely travel through America's backyards. While nature is often the first to bear the brunt of human accidents, sometimes the script is flipped, and nature becomes the villain. Rain, hail, fog, and storms of all kinds can turn an ordinary trip into a treacherous journey. And at 9th place in our ranking, a terrible snowstorm brought down an airplane. Staying in the U.S., we head to Washington, D.C., to uncover the terrible circumstances that led to the crash of Air Florida Flight 90. On January 13, 1982, the U.S. Capitol was hit by an exceptional snowstorm. It brought air traffic from Washington National Airport to a complete standstill. After a relative lull in the storm, traffic resumed on the main runway. The crew of Air Florida Flight 90, an imposing Boeing 737, is authorized to take off for Florida. By now, the snowfall has intensified and temperatures are dropping. In cold, wet weather, patches of frost can form on an aircraft's hull. It's particularly hazardous on the sensors responsible for transmitting data to the pilot and co-pilot, data that's essential to the safe operation of the flight. On most aircraft, an anti-icing system prevents these sensors from freezing so they can transmit accurate readings to the cockpit. Analysis of the black box will reveal that during the pre-flight check, the co-pilot announced that the anti-icing system was deactivated, and the pilot confirmed this choice. At 3:59 p.m., the aircraft began to accelerate. The pilots notice inconsistencies on their flight instruments. 15 seconds later, the imminent stall alarm sounds. The aircraft loses speed, stalls, and crashes into a bridge, plunging into the frozen Potomac River, crushing 6 cars and a truck in the process. The water is icy cold. Desperate survivors try to cling to life in the icy waters.
To the left of the 14th Street Bridge on the Virginia side, we saw 4 survivors come out of the water right in front of us.
Within minutes, police and helicopters arrived to pull passengers from the water and move them to safety on the bank. The frigid conditions make the operation difficult and dangerous, and some of the victims are in shock.
Some of the rescue attempts were heroic. This woman, stewardess Kelly Dunnan, was dragging along the ice almost to safety, but her arms give out. She can do nothing but wave for help in the freezing water. Finally, Lenny Skudnick, who happened to be on the scene, jumps into the water and pulls the woman to safety.
Of the 79 people on board, only 5 survived. On the bridge, 4 motorists died and 4 were injured.
Again and again, rescue helicopters circled the hole in the ice to pull more survivors to safety.
Following the crash, the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board concluded that a chain of incompetent actions led to the fatal outcome. They cited procedural problems, including a poor pre-flight instrument check and the captain's inability to abort takeoff when faced with inconsistent instrument readouts.